soon as I saw this in the Federal Register, it's from yesterday's Federal Register. I sent you an email.
Mm-hmm.
It's a notice from the Department of Interior. It went into effect that very same day, and they call it temporary restrictions on the public lands within the Table Rocks Management Area, Jackson County, Oregon.
Everybody likes to go out there and hike. It's great.
That's right. That's
okay.
right. So,
but we are talking about government action, though, which is very, very interesting. This is just kind of put out there and just thrown out there on the table, and we're not supposed to think anything about this.
Well, the temporary restrictions, according to the government, went into effect the same day that it was published in the Federal Register.
Which is now.
Right. And so the paragraph that really caught my eye says the temporary restrictions are necessary, you're going to love this, to protect cultural, historical, wildlife, and botanical resources on newly acquired and existing public lands within the Table Rocks Management Area until they can be inventoried. And, here's the big part, until the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management...
This is the big one, folks. Listen, get ready for it. ...
can consider a permanent closure through the Land Use Plan Amendment process.
These are the restrictions, by the way. And I've noticed that it has not made a lot of noise yet, but maybe it will now that we're talking about it, and perhaps other people can roll this around, Dale. But here are the restrictions. 1, you must not discharge firearms, gas or air-powered weapons, or simulated weapons, including paintball and paintball-like weapons, from or across BLM lands. So what, if you play laser tag, you're going to get hauled into jail? Is that what they're going to do if you have laser?
Air rifle?
Oh, yeah, air rifle, right. Number 2, you must not use motorized vehicles or non-motorized mechanized vehicles that are propelled or powered by any means outside of trailhead parking areas.
So there goes your battery-powered wheelchair.
Mm-hmm, that's right. 3, you must not bring dogs or other domestic animals outside of the trailhead parking areas. Now, has that restriction been on for a while or not?
I don't know. Fluffy, your cat, you can't carry Fluffy in your arms because
no.
You cannot bring you can't bring your pet gerbil. You're certainly not going to be able to bring your dog.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, number 4, you also must not bring or use metal detectors or dig, scrape, disturb, or remove natural land features for any purpose. So a calm, peaceful hobby which thousands of people conduct is no longer permitted anywhere around. If you can see the Table Rocks or you're on Table Rock, forget it. None of that sort of stuff. You can't do that.
Right.
And the following persons are exempt from this order: federal, state, and local officers and employees in the performance of their local official duties. Oh, that's great. This is serious stuff. This is just stroke with a pen, closed off. And what is chilling about this, Dale, which you pointed out, is the phrase, what was that phrase about the permanent part about it?
This temporary restriction is necessary to protect cultural, historical, wildlife, and botanical resources until the BLM can consider a permanent closure through the Land Use Plan Amendment process.
So if they're going to consider, I would almost guarantee that is what they want. So, question I guess we have to start asking, where's the problem?
Well, look at the first word in that line: cultural, historical, and then wildlife and botanical. So now, it's only a guess on my part because they don't go into great detail here. We're probably talking about Native American tribes who say, hey, this land is very important to us.
All right. Now, will there be hearings? Do we know if there will be hearings, or is the BLM kind of silent on this at the moment?
This is it. I mean, there are temporary restrictions as of the publication in the Federal Register from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it.
Now, I have had, you may have heard Ed on here before, who has researched a lot of these kind of these issues with the alphabet soup agencies. Mm-hmm. He has just written me, he's popped me something on this. Bill, he says, this is an opinion on your topic with Dale. You have to research the authority that is being used to find out if it is legitimate. For instance, 1733 enforcement is limited by 1732. That includes ingress and egress on roads and trails. Presuming the existence of the trails mentioned and restricted, the state law protects any pre-existing roads and trails, ORS 368, HB 208, 1901. So if the area has any trails that have existed for more than 10 years, the BLM cannot obstruct those who use those public roads or steal trails by agency redesignation.
At this moment, there are restrictions, but they're not closing it off.
But they are talking of, this is the proposal to close it off, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Your government at work, locking away your resources from you once again in the land of the free. I appreciate you bringing our attention to this, Dale. And I think
just keep in mind, you can be fined up to $1,000. You can be put in prison for no more than a year if you do these things up there now.
Right now.
Right now.